Hello my dear friends, my name is Harold and welcome to The Sanctum. In this video we shall be moving on to the final part of the series on Tibetan yoga, or the 6 yogas of Naropa. I've already spoken about the nighttime yogas associated with dream yoga and clear light yoga, and I've spoken about the death yogas, that is Poa and Bardo yoga. And now I will move on to the final two within the system of 6 yogas of Naropa, which is Tummo yoga and what is known as illusory body yoga. So these are the daytime yogas. As I mentioned, the Tibetans realized that when an individual is born, they experience day and then night, and then this repeats itself day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, day, night, and then finally that cycle is ended through the experience of death. And there were 2 yogas for each of these. And now let's talk about the daytime yogas. So first of all, one of the most famous of all of the Tibetan yogas, especially nowadays with the internet, is what we call Tummo. So the word Tummo in Tibetan can mean inner fire. So this is similar to the yogic idea of Chandali, or more commonly known as Kundalini. The word Kunda means the pit. So Kundalini means that which resides in the pit. And the Tibetan version is essentially Tummo. So Tummo yoga is made famous because of this idea that a yogi who's trained, or a practitioner who's trained to work with Tummo yoga, can increase their body temperature, literally, metaphorically and literally increase their body temperature at will. And now science is even confirming this with masters and lamas being tested in laboratory conditions to show that they can willfully increase their body temperature to significant levels through the use of Tummo and the cultivation of inner heat in their body. What they do in Tibet is for experienced practitioners to show that they attain to a certain level of mastery over Tummo. They would wrap themselves in a wet blanket or cloth, and they would go outside into the freezing cold temperatures in the Tibetan mountains, and they would practice Tummo yoga, which is a form of meditation, and steam will literally be created from their body for the amount of heat that they're creating from their body, and therefore drying the entire blanket or cloth around them. And that shows that a yogi has gained mastery over Tummo. Tummo is now being taught to the public as the Tibetan teachings and the Tibetan tantric teachings are being shared around the world by lamas who are traveling and giving empowerments and teaching. So this is something that you can learn. However, here in this video, I want to give you an introduction to what to expect when learning Tummo yoga, or how it actually works. So first of all, the idea behind Tummo yoga is various breathing techniques are used, various visualizations are used, and contraction of muscles to create and seal the winds, or what the Tibetans call lung, or energy, in particular parts of the body, leading to the generation of heat. And this inner fire, this Tummo that's created in your belly, is known to dissolve ignorance and negative emotion and dissolve karma, which is the reason for being bound to a physical existence and experiencing suffering. And this accelerates the spiritual growth of an individual, bringing them closer and closer to enlightenment, thereby dissolving their karma. So that is one of the main reasons for the use of Tummo. Now, when a person has learned authentic Tummo, This is known as a completion stage practice. So it's important to understand that there is a stage before this, what we call generation stage. And in Tibetan yoga, generation stage will be associated with a particular tantra. And the particular tantra will be associated with a particular deity or a pair of deities. And the generation stage will involve generating an energetic body of that particular deity by placing mantras on certain parts of the body and arising and dissolving, first of all, dissolving yourself and what you think or call yourself into emptiness, and then arising as that deity. And there's a very particular way of doing this, and it will vary from tantra to tantra. And then once you are that deity or have built the energetic body of that deity, then Tummo yoga is practiced by imagining that you are that deity, but your body is empty, filled with the various nadis or meridia. And there's a fire in your belly alongside various syllables and drops or bindu in various chakras. And the chakras composed of a certain number of petals. Depending on the tantra, this would vary, and depending on the chakra, this would vary. And the fire is kindled in your belly using a particular kind of breathing. Normally it's ways breathing, which can commonly be learnt, which focuses the energy in the belly, thereby generating the heat in the belly. And the heat rises to the top of your head, melting the first drop, and the second going all the way down and hitting the fire, causing the fire to rise and become hotter and hotter and hotter, generating body heat and creating an inner state of bliss, like immense bliss, or what the Tibetans call the four blisses or the four joys. Once the drop from up here has come all the way down and united. Depending on the tantra, this would vary on where it unites, but oftentimes at the tip of the jewel or where the genitalia are. So this is kind of an introduction to the process of how Tummo is done. And once again, this would vary depending on the tantra that you follow. But common tantras that are taught nowadays to the public are the Kala Chakra, which has a completion stage Tummo element to it, alongside a Chakra Samvara, which also has a Tummo associated with it, and many other tantras which are taught to the public. So this is something if you're interested in, and it does generate an inner sense of bliss and connects you more strongly to the essence of reality and brings you closer to enlightenment by dissolving your attachments, dissolving your ignorance, dissolving your negative emotions very rapidly. And that is one of the immense benefits, alongside many other experiences that can be had by practicing Tummo yoga. So this is something that you can learn from a qualified Lama that are teaching all over the world in this current moment. The second daytime yoga is known as Illusory Body Yoga. So now this particular form of yoga goes hand in hand with the Tummo yoga and is similar to dream yoga. But with Illusory Body Yoga, this uses advanced meditations to be able to recognize the illusory nature of all of reality, the illusory nature of yourself. You don't actually exist, and the illusion-like nature of your life. And what this does is this begins to create a strong sense of non-attachment from the experiences that you have in your life. Therefore, you're able to go through life in a peaceful, lubricated manner. And things that you experience don't stick onto you. They can come and they can go, because you know that they are Maya, they are illusion. And this is not a knowing, this is an inner experience that you have through the use of Illusory Body Yoga. This is also important, and when merged in together with Tummo, usually sometimes Illusory Body Yoga is is practiced depending on the tantra after Tummo, and it involves the union of the drop at the top of the head and at the bottom in the heart, giving you the inner experience of the illusion-like nature of self and reality. And this is important to gain a stronger experience of shunyata, or emptiness, which is the ground of all reality. It's where everything in manifestation comes from. Everything comes from this shunyata, this emptiness. And once we have the experience and the realization of emptiness itself, nothing can touch you. So this is another reason for the power of illusory body yoga. Now, this can also, with mastery and practice, lead to some of the more advanced states or meditations that lead to the cultivation of what we call the rainbow body, or subtler bodies of reality that help a yogi or a lama transcend the physical dimension. This too can be learnt. All of the yogas that I talk about in this series, the 6 yogas of Naropa, can all be learnt by finding a particular lama who is giving the empowerments and transmitting the teachings. So I hope this all made sense, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again very soon in the next video. Peace.